Director General of the World Trade Organization, Okonjo-Iweala, has advised the federal government to invest in the upgrading and maintenance of the country's airport facility. Hi, welcome to What's Happened. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, a Russian military plane has crashed in the occupied Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea, killing 29 people on board. The Russian Defense Ministry has said wreckage of the An-26 aircraft was found on Tuesday after the plane lost contact with authorities during a routine flight. According to the ministry, it blamed a technical failure and reported no external damage to the aircraft, implying that missiles, drones, or birds are not suspected of causing the crash. 7 crew members and 23 passengers had been on board as it flew over the Ukraine's Crimean peninsula, which Russia illegally annexed in 2014. At number 9, music, fireworks, and the occasional round of gunfire erupted across Iraq's capital, Baghdad, early Wednesday after the national team qualified for the World Cup for the first time in decades. The Lions of Mesopotamia secured the country's first World Cup appearance since the 1986 competition in Mexico with a 2-1 win over Bolivia on Tuesday night. The build-up to the match had been overshadowed by the outbreak of the Middle East War in late February, when the US and Israel attacked Iran, subsequently dragging Iraq into the conflict. More than 100 people have been killed in Iraq since the fighting began. At number 8, Justice Peter Kekemyeke of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has vacated a bench warrant it issued on March 26th for the arrest of the factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Kabiru Turaki. Justice Kekemyeke vacated the arrest warrant while ruling on an oral application by counsel for Turaki, Chris Uche's son, following his appearance in court. When the case was called, Uche apologized to the court for his absence on the last date. Uche, who claimed to be out of the country, said he returned earlier on Wednesday and headed straight to the courts. At number 7, Sterling Bank is celebrating the first anniversary of its zero transfer fees policy, which has returned over 1.6 billion naira directly to customers since its launch. Launched on April 1st, 2025, the policy eliminated transfer charges on Sterling's digital platform, One Bank, making it the first major Nigerian bank to waive revenue from consumer online transactions. One Bank making it the first major Nigerian bank to waive revenue from customer online transactions. In a statement made available to Punch Online on Wednesday, the bank's chief executive officer, Abubakar Sulaiman, said, "We made a deliberate decision to stop charging for the movement of money and to build our model around delivering real value instead." At number 6, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Tijani, has ordered the immediate withdrawal of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation and Special Offences Unit from traffic control and enforcement duties across the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Abimbola Adebisi, who disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday, stated that the directive was part of efforts to streamline traffic management operations and ensure professionalism and accountability. Adebisi noted that the withdrawal only affects traffic-related responsibility, adding that all other duties and operational mandate of the task force remain in force. At number 5, the Federal Road Safety Corps has launched the 2026 Easter Special Patrol Operations, scheduled to run from April 1st to 8th, 2026, to ensure safe and smooth movement of road users during the holiday. In a statement on Wednesday signed by AG Corps Public Education Officer Felicia Kalu, the Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed said the operation was necessitated by the expected increase in vehicular and human traffic across the country as Nigerians join the global Christian community in commemorating the Easter celebration. At number 4, the Cross River State chapter of the African Democratic Congress has rejected the emergence of an interim National Caretaker committee. The party described it as unconstitutional and a threat to the party's participation in the 2027 general elections. The state vice chairman and Director of Policy and Strategy of the party, Dr. Macfarlane Eja, made the position known on Tuesday during a press briefing held at the Ernest Bassi Press Center in Calabar. Eja said the party in the state was alarmed by what he described as a growing erosion of internal democracy within the ADC at the national level, warning that such actions could jeopardize the party's credibility and electoral prospects. At number 3, the Minister of Defense, Major General Christopher Musa, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, have visited the Headquarters Theater Command of Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri, Borno State, reiterating the federal government's commitment to the fight against Against Terrorism, Musa and Matawale were at the Theatre Command headquarters to assess ongoing counter-insurgency operations. Addressing journalists, Musa commended the armed forces for what he described as significant progress in the fight against insurgency, attributing the gains to improved coordination and professionalism among troops. At number 2, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu Tuesday unveiled the 2026 edition of the Lagos Economic Development Update. The unveiling of this year's outlook, held in Ikeja, provides an in-depth analysis of the state's economic trajectory, capturing global, national, and local development shaping in Lagos' growth outlook. Represented by his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, the governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to driving inclusive growth and ensuring that economic progress translates into tangible benefits for all residents of the state. At number 1, Director General of the World Trade Organization Okonjo-Iweala has advised the federal government to invest in the upgrading and maintenance of the country's airport facilities. She gave the advice on Wednesday at the Aircraft Acquisition and Investment Summit held in Lagos. According to her, for a country such as Nigeria seeking to move up the global value chain, upgrading and maintaining its existing airport infrastructure is not optional but a prerequisite. The cost of aviation fuel has soared by 184% in the last 2 months, occasioned by the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.